They thought, Gooseberry Lay, I mean, that just suggests all sorts of nasty things. Somebody on the Gooseberry Lay is a guy who's broke, and he's stealing laundry off people's laundry lines to have clothes to wear. So he's hiding in the gooseberry bushes, so the people put their clothes up and go in the house, and then he runs out and steals the clothes. So he's on the Gooseberry Lay.
Now this is another thing that it didn't occur to me until I read some of the criticism about the book, but it's clear in the book that Joe Cairo is gay. Given the question about Gunsall, are we supposed to understand that Wilbur is Gutman's father as well?
I don't know. I've never, it could certainly go either way. I know Joe Cairo is mad for Wilmer. And Wilmer is based on another character in one of the op stories that is this, Hammett would, when trying to create a character, would try it several times in his stories, in the short stories, and would be perfecting it each time. And there's very much this guy, what is the name of that story?
Is somebody kid?
Yeah, the Who's This Kid? Yeah, the Who's This Kid? And he was a tough kid, punk gunman out of Philadelphia or somewhere, and that they ran across years later in San Francisco. And he was sort of a blueprint for Wilmer Cook, who was, you know, the gun soldier. And Wilmer is so meticulous and cleanliness, everything is meticulous with him. So I'm not terribly familiar with the gay scene, you know, but he seems to me a character very much of a certain kind of homosexual male, you know, that you keep yourself nice kind of thing. And of course, Joel Cairo is the most effete, degenerate kind of guy you would ever meet. He's, when Spade asks a house dick about Joel Cairo, and the guy lifts his bra and says, "Oh, him, a guy like that loose in the big city." You know, it's just he's got the perfume. You know, Spade smells his handkerchief. So he's yeah. I can't answer. I don't know Wilmer and Cook. It could be either way. Yeah.
Another thing I heard in reading all this criticism, which I'll submit for your review, is that, well, one difference actually between the movie and the book is you don't have the character of Gutman's daughter. Would you agree? Yeah. I've heard it suggested that the quote daughter is not really the daughter, but is another of Gutman's daughters.
I don't know. And I had never thought of it until you said it. She's just one of those things that Hammett throws into all of his books. The Flitcraft incident in the Maltese Falcon, which is central to the book, by the way. And in The Thin Man, the whole chapter about the Donner Party eating each other, that apparently has nothing to do with the book, and yet in a way has everything to do with the book. Hammett loved that indirection. He would sneak up on you, go around the corner, and tap you on the shoulder, and you're looking for him over there. And so, I don't know. You know, that's a good question. If she's, I can't assign any purpose to her except to move the problem along, because she is there just to give Spade with only information,
right.
To send him on a wild goose chase. So I don't know. These anomalies are things that's one of the reasons I'm always so fascinated by Maltese Falcon, because you never get to the bottom of it all. Hammett was an intensely complicated, private, proud Southern gentleman proud guy who had the morals of a cat, and but kept his word. I'm sure he never told a woman he loved her unless he did. And at one point, the doctor tells him in his later years, "You're going to die if you keep drinking." He says, "Okay, I'll quit." The doctor didn't believe him, but he quit. He never touched another drink because he gave the guy his word. So in that way, he's sort of like a career military man. I mean, he has that strict thing you go by. You follow the rules as you see them, not as society sees them. Sam Spade is a very strict moralist, but society would say he's immoral because his morals aren't society's morals.
Now, I knew I forgot one question in my prepared case. Let's talk about the Flitcraft episode. What the heck is that doing in there? What does it do?
Okay, the Flitcraft episode is central to the novel. And if those of you who either have read the book or wouldn't remember the Flitcraft episode, it's a story that Spade tells Bridget suddenly. When she's in his apartment, he launches into this story of, oh, and by the way, just as an aside, Joe Marshall told me that when she was about 17 or 18, she was in the backyard with Hammett. He was in touch, though he was separated from Josie, but they were in touch his whole life. They were never divorced. And he told her the Flitcraft story. And she said, it is word for word, it was word for word, as it was in the novel. So it was obviously very important. And the Flitcraft story is, Spade is working for the Pinks in Seattle. And he's assigned to find a guy who was a businessman, extremely successful, who makes a date to go to golf one afternoon, and then goes out to lunch, and is never heard from again. He disappears, drops out of sight. They're hired, the Pinks are hired to find him, and they never do, or don't at that point, because he just disappeared. He didn't get extra money out of the bank, he didn't make any secret travel arrangements, he didn't have a lover, he wasn't broke, he didn't have anything that could make him disappear. A number of years later, in not Tacoma, the other big Seattle, Tacoma, no, Spokane, thank you, yeah. He turned up in Spokane. He was recognized by somebody. And Spade was assigned to go talk to him, see if it was indeed Flitcraft. And it was. And Flitcraft said he went out to lunch. When he was walking down the sidewalk, there was a construction project, and a steel beam fell from the project and hit the sidewalk right beside it. Pieces of concrete came up and gouged his cheek. And when he told the story, he rubbed his cheek as sort of affectionately. And he said he had lived the good life. He was a good father, a good husband, a good businessman, a good member of society. And it meant nothing at all, because everything was chance. A beam could fall and kill you. And that was it. What did all of this goodness and order in your life mean? It meant nothing. So he just kept going from that moment. He went to San Francisco. He bummed around for several years, working any kind of job he could get. Ended up finally coming back up. Ended in Spokane. Met a woman, got married, started a business, very much like the business he had had before. Became quite wealthy and quite successful. His wife didn't look anything like his first wife, but she was very much like her. As Spade said in telling the story, you know,